Today we're going to be taking a look at a review for the entire unit, as there will be a test following. If you would like to pause this page and work through the problems, and then I will go ahead and answer them for you. Which number is larger, -5 or -9? And -5 is greater than -9. 18 is greater than 10. 0 greater than 3. -7 is less than 7. We're going to be reviewing powers of 10 and how to get tens into exponents. So if we take a look at our first example of 1 billion, we can see that there are how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Since there are 9 zeros, there's going to be 10 to the 9th power. If we were to think about 10 million would go to right here, which would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. So 10 to the 7th power. If we're talking about 100,000, the 1 would be placed here, and this is a 0, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So we should have an answer of 10 to the 5th power. Remember, whenever you see exponents and 10 to the power, that's how many zeros there should be after the number 1. Continuing to work with the powers of 10, we're going to reverse it. Now we have it in number and word form, and we need to get into exponent. So we're taking a look at the number 1,000, which is going to be 1000. There are 3 zeros, so it's 10 to the 3rd power. 100 million, how many zeros are there going to be there? It's going to be 8 zeros, so it's 10 to the 8th. When I'm talking about 10 billion, is going to be 10 to the 10th power, because there are 10 zeros after the 1 in 10 billion. Going ahead and looking at adding and subtracting positive and negatives as a review, we always want to make sure that it is adding, and in this case we are already adding, so we need to look at our signs. We have a negative and a negative, so when you add two negatives, it is just going to be a negative sign. And then we can go ahead and add our two numbers. 15 plus 15 is 30 to get an answer of -30. Taking a look at our second example, we are already adding, and we're adding a negative and a negative. So we're going to keep that negative sign, and we can go ahead and add 5 and 7 to get 12, so an answer of -12. Last example, we're taking a look at -5 minus 7. We have subtraction here, so we need to change subtraction to addition. Whenever you change subtraction to addition, you have to change the next sign to the opposite of what it is. So it was positive, so now we're going to make it negative. We're adding two negatives, so it's going to continue to stay negative. And -5 plus -7 is going to equal -12. All right, looking at another example of adding. Since it's adding, we can go ahead and take a look at our signs. We are adding a negative and a positive, which tells us that we need to actually subtract. So 50 minus 20 is going to be 30, and we're going to take the sign that is larger. 50 is larger than 20, and 50 is negative, so it'll be a -30. Looking at our next example, -5 minus -7. We have subtraction, so we need to change it to addition. And once we change we need to change the following number. So it was -7, so the opposite of -7 is +7. Now we're adding, and we're adding a negative and a positive, which tells us to subtract. So 7 minus 5 is 2. And then we have to take the larger sign, which is a +2. And looking at our last example, we have 0 minus negative 8. Once again, we're subtracting, so we need to make it addition and add the opposite. It was negative 8, so now we're going to make it a positive 8. 0 plus 8 is going to give us an answer of 8. We're going to write the following numbers that are in scientific notation in number and notation here. So 5 times 10 to the 6th, that is written in scientific notation. Remember, scientific notation is when you take a factor and multiply it by a power of 10. Easiest way to do this is go ahead and figure out what 10 to the 6th power is. So remember, that's a 1 and then followed by 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put our commas every 3 in. And now we have to do 1 times 5, which is going to be 5, and then add our zeros, which would be 5 million. And I'm unable to show you that answer. So if we're writing a number and word, it would be 5 million. So we used the 5 to show our number, and we wrote out million. Looking at 4 times 10 to the 9th, let's figure out what 10 to the 9th power is first. So we are going to have 9 zeros, 3, 6, 9. And some of you are seeing that that is 1 billion. 1 billion times 4 is going to turn to 4 billion. Last example, 10 to the 8th. 1 with 8 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we have to multiply it by 1. 1 times 1 is 1, and so our answer is going to stay at 100 million. Here are a few more examples that you can work out on your own. And you can be checking your answers as well. This concludes our lesson on our review for Unit 7. Make sure that if there is anything that in this video that was difficult, you're going back to those lessons and trying to figure it out by rewatching the online videos, taking a look at the extra support, making sure you're looking at your math journal pages as well. Have a good day.